I'm Jessica.
And I am Erin.
Sorry.
We're twins.
So we were raised Christian.
Mm-hmm.
We come from like our parents and stuff were pastors, grandparents and stuff. So we've always been like in faith. And before OKC Community, I think maybe 4 years before that was when we just 4 years ago was our beginning to Christ for real.
Yeah, Christ in relationship.
So it was 2020 when we got here, and it was in September. But in the beginning of 2020, it was just a lot going on in the world, COVID, and a lot of just racial tension. And God had just kind of came to me and was just saying that he wanted us to build a bridge, and we didn't really know what that meant or what we were going to be doing, but we just knew that he was like, you guys got to go. And we were like, okay. Then we had that dinner. Maybe a few weeks after we had that conversation.
We went to Scott and Angie's house, just like regular. We have dinners every quarter.
Yeah.
And we left the dinner and just immediately sat down in the car and was like, this is the church we're going to. We're going to OKC Community.
The funny thing is, I remember a couple months ago, Pastor Tim preached on courageous faith, and then he had called me and was just asking us about our story, and was like, oh, I feel like that was courageous and stuff. And I feel like that was the first time I actually stopped and thought, wow, that was kind of courageous. It was kind of crazy to just uproot your life and stuff like that. But me and Erin talk all the time. I was like, I feel like everybody here was courageous to accept us, because although we live in a world that's more accepting and loving, and everybody here is loving, but it's hard to be around people that are absolutely not like you, and then say I want a part of that. I'll be cool with them. And I just felt like people were telling us we were courageous, but I feel like they were courageous for just accepting us as we were, and we didn't have to think twice.
Think twice or pretend.
I
You
know,
gonna cry.
I know.
Time.
I always cry. But that was just that was hard. It's really hard to be yourself in a world like this. So to come here and everybody be oh man, y'all are great as is. It was just really cool. People to just treat you as is. So yeah, I think I just feel like everybody here was courageous.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, God has literally called us to love each other and be the body.
I didn't realize until getting here, I can pray for big things, small things, impossible things. And one of the biggest prayers was that our little brothers would get saved. And just this week, we celebrated that. And that was felt so impossible. We were praying for that for 6 years. But I feel like this year we took that serious, because it was prayer was just so engraved in us now.
Yeah.
And I feel like that probably is, I will forever be thankful no matter how long I'm here. I'm going to always be thankful that prayer started here and it grew here. So I think that's my biggest takeaway, is just prayer.
Yeah. I think for me, what has changed the most is my mental health. I mean, I used to be a little bit crazy. My entire life, I have always just survived. And I used to wear that like a badge, I had survived. And I came here, and that is where I grew. And something that I learned is that I can literally thrive. What God's called us to is not to survive through life and just barely make it and just feel good enough, well enough, my tank is enough. It's I don't think God called us to that. I think he's called us to overflow and swell and be overwhelmed, whether it's with mental health, with clarity, with love. And I think that's what I learned here.
Yeah.
And I always say all the time, I thought that building a bridge was us making a difference. And then I realized building a bridge means we walked both ways. So the same way we were building a bridge for people to know us, love us, they built a bridge for me to know them.
Yeah.
And be comfortable and, again, just thrive.
Yeah.
I never want to survive again. So that's kind of how I feel like this church has just changed me completely.
Yeah.